Hi friends! Did you know that this past Friday was the first day of spring? Yeah. Our next few art activities are all going to be centered around connecting with nature, the outside. Stay tuned in this video where I'll take you on a journey outside in my backyard, and I'll show you how to collect certain leaves that you can use to create leaf rubbings. See you soon. Hi friends! I am so glad that we get to connect with one another again through video. The last time that we were together, we took an adventure around our house to find different objects of many colors and we used them to build a color wheel. Today, we're going to travel outside and we're going to focus on one color in particular that we saw in that color wheel. What's a color that you see a lot of outside? Keep it in mind, and I bet you'll notice when we head out there. But before we begin, before you head outside, make sure you put on a jacket, like I've got my red Friends Academy jacket. You also need two things. You will need a scissor and a bag for collecting. The scissor is for cutting nature when you have to. The nature that we will find, we'll find hopefully on the ground. But if we have to take something from a tree that is alive, it's very helpful for our nature to stay alive and healthy if we cut it off instead of ripping it. So, if you don't have a scissor and a bag, pause the video here and then start it again when you do have these two items. Okay, we've got our items. I am inside right now. I'm going to meet you outside in a little bit. See you soon. Hi friends, we are now outside. Be sure that you have a jacket on. Keep yourself warm and healthy, and make sure you have your scissor and your bag. I want us to just take a moment and soak in where we are. We are outside. The air is fresh. The sun is shining. I have so much gratitude for my ability to be outside and appreciate nature. Do you? Do you love being outside? Very, very healthy thing to get outside every day and move your body. Today, for this activity, we're going to search around our backyard for nature. Specifically, nature that's quite flat and that we could use to make rubbings. A rubbing is made when you take nature and lay it under a flat piece of paper using a crayon or a oil pastel. You will rub or draw over the paper and you'll see the leaf that's underneath. You'll see it magically appear on top of the paper. So we're going to walk around my yard and then you'll walk around your yard to collect any nature that you find. I also want to let you know that if you find nature on the ground, definitely pick it up first before cutting any nature off of a tree or a bush. Nature stays alive and healthy when we don't cut it apart, right? And especially when we don't rip it. So the reason why we have a scissor today is that if we find a leaf on a tree or a bush that we would like to use, we want to cut it and not rip it. This is what will keep that bush or tree healthy. So, the first nature that I found outside was a part of this fern. And this fern is a giant tree, but I'm not going to cut the tree down, right? And I'm not going to cut an entire branch down. I just want one tiny piece of one tiny part of one branch. So come over here with me. I'm going to take my scissor and carefully grab this one tiny part of one tiny piece of one tiny branch, and I'm going to cut it. That's all I need for this activity. I'll take this piece of nature and put it in my bag to save it for later, and then we're going to head to a different bush, a rhododendron bush, and we're going to cut a leaf from there. Come with me. Do you see my rhododendron bushes growing here? I'm going to look for a leaf that's itty bitty, like right here, and cut. And then I'm going to get just one more, one that's slightly larger. I'm going to take these 2 leaves, put them in my bag, and say, "Thank you, rhododendron bush. Thank you for letting me cut a piece of you. I am using it to make art. It's going to good use." All right, let's see. Is there anything else? I wonder what this could do. So let's cut a bit of the azalea bush. I'm going to take a little piece of a little part of the branch, cut it. That's all I need. I'm going to take this and put it in my bag. I'm going to stop here because I feel like you understand what you might need to do to collect the nature in your yard. I'm going to collect some more nature, but you don't need to watch me for now. I'm going to let you collect nature in your yard. Hello, Friends Academy artists. Here we are together again. I'm in my art studio with my tools, and I'm hoping that you are in an area where you have a flat work surface and you can create your rubbings from nature. The materials that you will need for this activity are the nature that you collected, a blank piece of paper, and some oil pastels or crayons. Oil pastels or crayons work best for this activity because they are hard and solid and waxy. So, how do we begin? We take a piece of nature. I will choose my oak leaf, and we look at the leaf and decide what side of the leaf should we rub on. On this side, I notice so many more textures. A vein through the center, veins moving out through the side. We should choose the side where there is more texture, because when you make a rubbing, you are rubbing the texture from any object that you choose to rub. We're going to take the textured side, face it up, lay it underneath our paper wherever we wish. And the first thing I'm going to do is hold it really still with my non-dominant hand. That's the hand that I don't draw with. And then I'll take the hand that I do draw with, and I'm going to choose an oil pastel to rub it with. I'm not going to use the side that we normally draw with, that pointy side. I will choose the side that's flat. Here we go. I'm rubbing it with the flat side. Do you see it transferring? Oh my goodness! My oak leaf was underneath the paper, but now it's shining through. I'm holding it really still so it doesn't shift, and I'm moving from the center out, 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 so I can see my leaf appear. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. Look at those textures. I feel like I have been able to rub the entire oak leaf. Do you? I'll lay my oil pastel back down, and I'll take my oak leaf out. Oak leaf, thank you for letting me rub all your textures and make art with you. I'll lay you here. Next, I'll choose the geranium leaf. I'm going to lay that underneath. Maybe I'll put it a little bit down here at the bottom. And I think I'll choose this green oil pastel. Again, the flat side. And I'll rub. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. This is so exciting. It's like a magic drawing. There's my geranium leaf. Holding it still. Getting all the sides and the insides. Oh, wow. Look at that. Remove that. Thank you, geranium leaf, for letting me use you to make my art. I'll put you back here. And the last thing I might do, I think I'll choose the rhododendron leaf. I'll lay that over here, make it come out through the side. Again, the textured side is facing up. Lay my paper on top. And I think I'm going to choose a warmer color this time. The blue and green were cool. But when I look at my warmer colors, they seem to be like covered in this paper. So what I need to do first is take my fingernail and kind of peel away the paper that covers my oil pastel so that I can get to the flat side. I don't want to use that pointed side. I'll take my time, really peel away the paper, and I may even break it so that I can keep this for later and use this. Break on, break on. Broken crayons still color. Broken oil pastels work just as well as the oil pastels that are from a fresh box. So, use your beautiful tools, and let's see what happens with this rhododendron leaf. Wow, look at this. I can see so many veins. I didn't even see these veins when I was looking at the leaf. It's almost like it's allowing me to see textures that were there, but my eye didn't even notice. Oh, wow, look at that. Friends, rubbing can be a lot of fun, and you can learn a lot about the textures of a leaf that your eye may not notice. For this art activity, take your time, be curious about the different textures you'll notice in your nature, and lay them under your paper. Use your oil pastels or crayons to explore all their texture. You may want to think about how you want to place all the objects. Is there a certain pattern you want to use? You may want to think about the selection of color you use. Do you want to stick just with warm colors or just with cool colors, or use maybe 1 or 2 or 3 colors over and over and over again? You get to decide, because you are the artist. Tell your story about texture through nature rubbings. Friends, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy working, and I can't wait to see your beautiful rubbings that you create from nature. Remember, appreciate the nature, say thank you when you cut it, and go outside and explore what your backyard has to offer. Bye-bye, friends.